Coco. Hey everybody, it's Tef, and as you can see, I have a brush set here from Royal and Langnickel. This is their Guilty Pleasures Wrath set. This is a 13-piece makeup brush kit, and their brushes are 100% vegan. At least these are. I don't think all of their brushes are. And a little bit of background on Royal and Langnickel. They actually started as an art brush company. So brushes, you know, for painters and other artists, and then they expanded into makeup brushes. So I have had a little bit of experience with their brushes in the past, and I feel like overall the ones that I've tried have been really good quality. So I'm excited to go ahead and open up this kit and give it a try. One of the reasons why I got it is that it does come with the brushes and also with a brush roll. So this is perfect for traveling if you would like to travel with a complete brush set. And they all have their little spot, as you can see, and they all come wrapped in their little plastic. So I think the first order of business is going to be, well, first off, folding this under so it doesn't keep rolling back, and then taking all the brushes out of their plastic so we can actually look at them. So as you can see, each of them have their little pouch, and then they also have a little place up here to keep them in place. And this is the big one. I think this is the powder one. Right off the bat, it is very flexible. It does feel like it's very supple. There aren't any brush hairs sticking out except for like a couple here that I can find anyway. I'm rubbing it on my hand. I'm not showing any fallout. Obviously, you know, you have to use it a little bit to tell if there's fallout, but you know, I can't see anything off the bat. And by the way, the Guilty Pleasures line, from what I can tell, the different ones have to do with the color. So I really liked the mixture of the black and the purple. So that's why I got the Wrath set. But they also have other colors that you can get depending on your mood. So this one is the stippling brush. Again, very, very soft and supple. I feel like I would like a little bit more as far as the brush hairs go in a brush like this. So this would be very good for blush and kind of blending that out so you make sure you don't get too much on. But I do tend to like a little bit more rigidity in my stippling brushes. However, the brush itself does look to be pretty good quality. Nothing really out of place. There's that one that like is a little bit higher up than normal, but other than that, oh, this, I was gonna say everything's soft, but this right here is not soft. I'm hoping it's just something that I can wash out pretty easily. Because once, I mean, obviously I'm gonna wash all these brushes before I use them for real on my face, and hopefully that will just wash out pretty easily. And by the way, all the brushes have the Royal and Langnickel, and then also what kind of brush they are. So this is the foundation brush. And I have to say this one's pretty good. It has a little bit of give, but it's still pretty dense. I think this would work pretty well for foundation. Now, I don't tend to use these type of flat brushes for foundation. In fact, I don't tend to use them for much of anything except for face masks. So I probably am not a good person to judge this foundation brush, but it's there in case I need it. Next, we have, this is a contour brush. So I like that it's small and angled. It's gonna help you get into the little contours of your face. Again, it is still pretty soft, but I feel like it's just rigid enough to kind of figure out, like, to aim it where you want it to go. Again, I wish it was a little bit more in the brush head, but not too big of a deal. A lot of the brushes that I have like this are actually bigger, believe it or not. Now, I'm not sure if they're all contour brushes, but this is going to be very nice for me and figuring out where I need everything to go. I don't know if you can see that, but a little bit of the faux leather of the brush roll kind of got bent down instead of bent up in there. So I just had to go fix that. Now that I fixed it, it looks perfect though. The next brush in the kit is this line and smudge brush. So this is kind of your standard bigger pencil brush. I really like brushes like this. I know this is kind of, you know, for smudging and lining, but I really like these to deliver really concentrated oh my goodness, shadow into my crease. I feel like they do a very good job at that. Then you can use something a little bit fluffier to blend it out if you maybe don't want your crease color going everywhere. This one I feel like has just enough give. It's definitely rigid and it's rounded just the right amount for what I'd want to do with it. So this one I'm very happy with. And this one again kind of rolled down a little bit under there, but pretty easy to fix. We'll just go ahead and put that little baby back in. And then the next brush in here is the small shader brush. These are very handy, of course, for packing shadow on your lid. It's big enough that you can definitely get a good amount of shadow on there. Bendable enough that you can, you know, it will contour with your eye since you're working with a curved area, but also rigid enough that it's not going to go anywhere you don't want it to go. So I think this is going to be one of my favorites of the kit. I'm always looking for good eye brushes. And speaking of eye brushes, pretty much the rest of them are eye brushes. This one is a crease brush, so obviously this one's going to be more of your fluffy blending brush. I don't tend to use these as much to deliver crease colors, but to blend them out once they're already there. Definitely fluffy, definitely blendable, and I think that will do a very good job in the crease. Again, I will probably use this one to deliver the color and that one to blend it out. Now next we have the angle shader brush. So this one's really good for outer corners or something like that. It is definitely bendable. I probably would like a little bit more rigidity in this one as well, but it does feel good. No fallout so far. It looks like all the brush hairs are pretty much in place, and I think this will be a pretty good one. Definitely feels soft like all the other brushes. Next we have the long concealer brush. So I guess this one, I guess the rest of them aren't all eye brushes like I said they were. So this one is definitely has some rigidity to it, but as you can see it's also flexible at the same time, so it's kind of a nice middle ground between the two. I feel like this would be very good at concealer. As you can see when I'm pressing it, all the bristles are staying together. Ooh, looks like there's one little flyaway in there. Anyway, so this is gonna really help you get concealer to the little spots that you need them, and I think this is just exactly what I'd be looking for in a concealer brush. This is also good for the inner corner of the eye for shadows if you don't need it for a concealer. So there is always that option for you as well. You also have more of a smudger brush, and this one's another one where the brush is more rigid, and this one is really perfect for smudging out eyeshadow right around either the bottom lash line or the top lash line of the eye. The shape is absolutely perfect. As you can see as I'm spinning it, it gets really tiny, which is really nice. And as I'm pressing on it, it you know, spreads out a little bit, but not too much. So it really keeps its shape really well and is going to be great for those sorts of uses. Next in the kit, we have the mini flat smudger. So this is another good one for the inner corner of the eye as well as the lower lash line. As you can see, the bristles are very short, so they're very easy to control, and it's a very small brush that's going to enable you to do a lot in there, and it's going to be really easy to, you know, get in there and apply your shadow exactly where you want to apply it. You can also apply it a lot, you know, you can, oh my goodness. We have a cat. Coco wants to join in. She approves of the brushes. She's smelling the brushes actually. Hey Coco. Hey boo. Anyway, as I was saying, this brush will allow you to get a nice, clean, precise line on your lower lash line, as well as blend it out once you have the color where you want it to go. So it's kind of a best of both worlds type brush. Hey boo. Don't attack the brushes. They didn't do anything to you. Hey. Last but not least, we have this brow angle brush. It comes with its own little guard like the powder brush did. And this one is a very, very stiff brush. Oh my goodness. Are you gonna eat the brush? Don't eat the brushes. It's a very stiff brush. It's very thin and fine. I hope you can see that. And it will really allow you to get in the inner corners of your eyebrows if you're using, you know, a pomade or some sort of liquid or gel, probably gel consistency product. This would also be a, hey, don't eat the brushes. This would also be a really great great brush for doing gel eyeliner or something like that around the eye. You could even use this for powder if you want to just get a very fine line, and then the cap goes back on just like that, and it slides right back into its own little spot in the brush roll. So there is my first impression of all of these brushes. Overall, I have to say I'm a little bit more impressed with the eye brushes, the smaller ones versus the bigger ones. And I think that just has to do with personal preference, really. I tend to like slightly sturdier brushes for my big face brushes, and the only real complaint I had is that on this stippling brush there was that little kind of coarse patch in the brush that I'm hoping is just something that I can easily wash off. Other than that, I am very pleased with this brush roll, and I feel like you really have something for everything, which does make it an ideal brush roll to travel with. One thing I really do like about that is because the brushes are not double-sided, I can actually put them in some sort of, brush container and use them at home, so it doesn't have to just be a travel kit. If you've checked out this brush set, let me know what you think about it in the bottom bar down below, and please give this video a thumbs up if you love seeing makeup product and tool reviews. I'll see you guys next time. Bye!